This is how I teach my students to read letters B versus D. And you've probably seen or heard about like baby belly versus the diaper. I've seen that. I've also seen people using this like the word bed. And if you read the word bed, if you read it the proper direction, going from left to right, then yes, this would be the letter B in the word bed, and this would be the letter D in the word bed. My problem with that is um, students that are young and students or people with dyslexia often have directionality problems, meaning they very well may read the word bed from right to left, meaning this would be the B in bed and this would be the D in bed. And I had one of my students that actually, when he first pulled both hands out, because I had to teach him, nope, we're not using two hands, we're just using one. He pulled both hands out, and I saw his eyes go from left to right like he was supposed to and say bed. And then he was able to, but then he second guessed himself. He's like, no. And then he changed it, and he went from this way to that way and read bed backwards. So then he got his B and his D incorrect. So we do not use a D hand. We only use a B hand in my room. And I got this idea from Really Great Reading, Linda Farrell. I'll link the video in the description below. So it's good information. Then, once I've started doing this, they can only use their B hand. And so she has them, talks about putting a rubber band on their wrist or really anything to help them remember that this is going to be their B hand. So they make sure they don't pull the wrong hand up, they use the proper hand. And so then we talk about, and I'll put these on the board, up on my board. So I'll write a B, and I will have them hold their hand up next to, I don't know why there's such shadow on that hand, but I'll have them, there we go. I will have them hold up their letter B, or their B hand, with the rubber band on it, and see, does this look the same? We have a stick on this side, and then we have a ball on that side. And so sure enough, that is a B. Now, for younger kids, less focusing kids, sometimes I've had to literally use my dry erase marker and make a B on my hand for them to really make that association. Like I said, my younger kindergartners, it just, I don't know, it kind of goes over their head sometimes. So occasionally I will end up writing on my hand itself so that they can compare the two. And then I would just have, right, is this a B? Get your B hand, hold it up. And interestingly enough, by the way, kindergartners especially have a difficult time doing this. They will sometimes do this, they'll sometimes do, you don't even know what they're going to do. So the best way I've found for them to do that is I want them to make a fist and they have to point. And if they can make a fist and point, that can get them there. Again, you can get some really odd things going. They don't, that can be challenging for some kiddos, even just to form that hand. So that's something you might have to teach them. So anyway, you just write a letter on the board, use your hand, look up at it, you'll see, does this look like a B? Nope, does not, so that would be a D. So again, we do not have a D hand. We don't use bed. We don't use the belly in the diaper, simply because a lot of these kids have those directionality issues. So if I only have one hand and they know which hand it is, then they can pull that hand out anywhere, any class, at home, on the road, and they can use that hand rather than just guess and hope they got it right. Okay, let me know what works for you and if you found any difficulties with certain more traditional ways to teach this.